Okay. So I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 1:02 p.m. We will begin with a territorial land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, Métis, and Métis nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. We'll go on to the roll call of attendance. Our normal chair, Liam, is not here as he has a conflicting class at this time. So we'll go on to acting VP Internal and Organizational Development.
Hi, Ashley here, they, she pronouns. All my access needs are met for today.
Thank you, Ashley. Next is I believe VP Finance and VP UA are not here yet, so VP External.
Hi, my name is Nancy, pronouns she, her, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Nancy. Then VP Equity, myself. My name is Priyanka, pronouns she, her. Access needs are met. My voice is like a little bit gone, so hopefully it doesn't interfere. And then VP Events.
Hi there, name's Aya, pronouns he, him, his, all my access needs are met.
All right, thanks, Ayo. And then Thomas has just joined as well. Thomas, do you want to do your introduction? All right, I'm just gonna skip Thomas for now. Next is our temporary operations organizer.
Hi, all, Sindhu here, pronouns she, her, hers, access needs are met.
Our policy research community affairs coordinator.
Thank you. My name is Biri. My access needs are met. Pronouns she, her, hers.
Then next is our research assistant.
Hi there, I'm Rainy. My pronouns are she, her, and my access needs are met.
Thanks, Rainy. And then we also have a guest today. Rob, if you want to do a quick intro.
Absolutely, yes. I'm Rob with the Grammarly for Education team, pronouns he, his. I'm excited to have this opportunity and speak on behalf of Grammarly for your team. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, can we start the presentation now, or are we waiting for some?
So we need to go through our agenda adoption quickly, and then we'll go on to the presentation.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay, so next will be our consent agenda. So consent agenda reads, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Within our consent agenda, we have 4.11 matters arising from the minutes and also ratification of regrets from Liam Fang. As this consent agenda carries unanimously. And going on to adoption of the agenda, I will move. It reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I get a seconder?
Internal.
Internal seconds. Is there any discussion or amendments to be made for the agenda? Ayo?
Yeah, I have 3 items I'd like to add on.
Okay, I'll just put them in the chat.
Sure, give me a minute.
I would just feel free to paste them when you have them. For now, Ashley, do you want to do your list?
Sure, I can. I was going to amend on two items, but it appears that the BAS rep is not here, so I'm going to avoid amending on the discussion item that she wanted to discuss with you guys. As a heads up, if she does attend, I will suspend the rules and amend on a discussion item discussing some room booking conflictions. But secondly, I realized we didn't actually amend on the Grammarly presentation, so I'd like to move to amend on a presentation titled Grammarly presentation, so that our lovely guest speaker can have an opportunity to speak.
Alright, sounds good. I will second that amendment. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, that amendment is added on. I also have one amendment to add. This is on behalf of Liam. I'll paste it in chat. It reads title logo competition. Whereas logo competition involves prizes to be given out to the top 10 applicants, be resolved to allocate X amount from the dollars from line item. This might need some friendly amendments later, but 886/17 promotions material from communication department to be spent on prizes for the logo change competition. Be resolved that the prizes will be determined by the executive committee. I'll move this. Can I get a seconder?
Internal.
Internal seconds. Any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, I will move on to the vote. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in chat. Okay, seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this carries unanimously. Io, for the interest of time, if you're not ready yet, and we have our presenter waiting, I don't want to keep him waiting too long. We could suspend the rules later to add on your amendments. So for oh, never mind. I think they're here. Okay. Okay, is this it or is there more?
Oh, this is everything.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming you move this, so it's reads be resolved. I'll second this. It reads be resolved to approve the following amounts from the events committee budget for the following events. Pancake breakfast, $1,000, Valentine's Day event, $1,450, pizza, $1,000, sticky notes, $20, juice boxes, $15, contingency, $100, giveaway, $150, Lunar New Year celebration, $500, chocolate coins, $100, oranges, $100, envelopes, $50, fortune cookies, $100, decoration, $50, contingency, $100. Is there any discussion on this this amendment? Ashley, is your list for this or to add on the other discussion item?
It technically was to add on the other discussion item, but I actually do have a question about this motion.
Yeah, for sure. Go.
Yeah, are we able to approve? I don't actually see a total on all this money, but are we able to approve all of that money in one motion? Because I'm pretty sure that totals to more than what exec is allowed to approve.
I think it's 3 separate events. So I think pancake breakfast is 1,000, Valentine's Days 1,450, and then that's like the breakdown of how the 1,450 is gonna add up, and the Lunar New Year celebration is 500, and that's the breakdown of how it's gonna.
Okay,
So
that
in,
makes a little more sense.
so
Yeah.
in total, it would be 2,950. So we would be able to approve.
Cool.
Okay. Other than that, is there any discussion on the event committee amendment? Seeing none, move on to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing no dissent, this one carries. And then Ashley, do you also have a list for the other discussion item?
Yeah, I'd like to move to
Mm.
amend on a discussion item titled BAS double room booking.
Okay, sounds good. I will second this. Any discussion on this addition? Seeing none, move on to a vote. If you see unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Otherwise, and I'll call upon you to vote. Otherwise, I will assume this carries unanimously. And now moving back to the main motion, which, oh sorry, muted myself for a second there, which now reads, be resolved to adopt the agenda as That if you wish to dissent, please use, and we will move on to our
and show you so you will have a better understanding how it differs from premium accounts or free accounts. Speaking about Grammarly for Education, think of it as volume premium package. So that would be a volume account for multiple users. So that allows you to have more management controls in that account and more security controls. So it has been built on top of our core product offering, and that has been around for more than 40 years now. And from the very beginning, we designed Grammarly for Education to address needs of educational institutions and educational agencies to help students achieve with their daily writing, basically with writing across the curriculum. As I mentioned, since it's a volume account, we also offer different access roles to that account. You can have account admins, you can have account managers, and you can have regular users. So account managers and admins can control subscription, can put writing preferences for regular users so that they will follow correct writing and correct writing preparations that is applicable to certain user group or certain user audience they represent within your entire student population. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you just to show you how Grammarly admins and account managers can customize Grammarly for Education account. Give me a second. Yeah, so can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
So what you see now is just one of the environments where users can access Grammarly, and I decided to demonstrate Grammarly in this environment because it allows me to show you admin panel. But quick note that thanks to different extensions and apps we designed, users can cover their writing simply everywhere where it happens. So they can install extension for their desktop app, for their Chrome, for their mobile device, and again, be confident that Grammarly supports them everywhere where they type. So as an admin of my account, I can go to admin panel and I can do some backend customization. I can check subscription information just to check renewal dates, how many seats I have available to invite more users. I can also go and configure single sign-on integration just to make sure that Grammarly, just to make sure that we follow the most seamless and most convenient authentication method. If we speak about large deployments for large student associations or student societies, you can also manage your members from members section, but if you have single sign-on in place, you don't need to do that. But again, you can still do that and invite or remove users from this user interface. You can also create different user groups, and then thanks to user groups, you can apply more granular customization on the backend. So you can go and create style guides, for example. So when we speak about style guide, think of it as custom dictionary that can cover your entire student population or only certain user group within your account. So this will be a custom dictionary that will contain different rules for communication, for writing, that Grammarly will flag for users every time they write something. You can see that we have a lot of abbreviations, certain phrases we don't use. So we don't use child, we prefer to use learner. We don't go with dyslexia, we prefer neurodiversity. So you can create as many custom rules as you want, creating them one by one, put in original text here, put in correct example, and then put in explanation. Or you can download a CSV template, share it across the board, across the departments or across different groups within your account. So everyone can contribute with one file so that you can then download that file, upload that file back and apply changes in bulk. Let me show you how it works in real time. Let's take this example. So what it means every time someone types edu or edu lowercase, Grammarly should flag it and ask to rephrase it with G4E or Grammarly for Education. And we also have explanation why we want our team to follow this rule. So let's go to any environment, say it can be Google Docs. Let's type edu here. You can see that Grammarly flags that and offers us to follow approved version of this abbreviation. As I mentioned, yes, you can have one general one and then apply multiple style guides for selected user groups. You can go and frame writing preparations for different user groups as well. For example, you can see that we have this set of preferences created for all staff and undergrad students. Let's dive into this one, and you can see that we have around 50 different rules that I can adjust, and these rules will affect suggestions that Grammarly provides. We turn off passive voice suggestions at all. So Grammarly will not flag passive voice for these two user groups that I have chosen for this set of preferences. But let's say I have user group who should follow active voice suggestions. We can go and create another set of preferences, find that user group here, find the same rule, and apply that for that specific user group. Am I making sense here? Any questions? Okay, no questions. So I also wanted to highlight how you can control generative AI capabilities, because with Grammarly, we offer not only writing assistant part where you can review and get more advanced suggestions for grammar, punctuation, for vocabulary, sentence structure, but you can also get generative AI power in any text tool where Grammarly works. So simply across 500,000 applications. But we know that certain instructors, certain professors, certain classes or programs still are hesitant about generative AI. So you can easily control that from the backend. So you can either leave this feature enabled for everyone within your account or only for selected user groups within your account. So that only selected user groups can prompt Grammarly and leverage beautiful generative AI power. On top of that, you can also check analytics to see how far Grammarly goes within your university, within your organization. You can see this information for all members or only for selected user groups. Again, from the drop-down menu, you can choose one user group or even a few user groups just to narrow down and see how Grammarly supports users from these two specific user groups. You can see, again, active members, how Grammarly helped them improve their communication, how these users interact with suggestions that Grammarly flags them, what is the average tone that these users follow with their written communication. And of course, you can see how often these users prompt Grammarly with generative AI wizard. So you can see how many prompts they generated per day, and you can see in total for selected period of time. So you can also play around with period of, you can narrow down to a few days or expand just to see more holistic overview of a few months or even a year. Yeah, that's it from the functionality perspective. Of course, to cover all features and show you different use cases, how you can apply them, I would need at least maybe 40 to 50 minutes. But I just try to highlight management controls and how your administration team can control and put more customization to make sure that Grammarly works in correct way for different audiences in your account. Let me pause here. Here are questions, your valuable feedback on that. I will be more than happy to answer those. No questions?
Yeah, I think we're good. No questions.
Yeah, also, I wanted to share information about licensing models. So Grammarly for Education, with Grammarly for Education, you basically purchase a certain number of seats, and then your admins and our deployment and customer success team help you allocate these licenses throughout the year of your subscription. So at the moment, we offer so pricing depends on the number of users you would like to enroll with Grammarly for Education plan. So I checked, I Googled what is your student population in society. So it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was in the neighborhood of 33 to 35,000 students. So for that amount of users, today until the end of January, we offer $5 per user per year. That's our list price. Starting February 1st, our new fiscal year starts, and we will update our institution-wide pricing. So it will go up to $12 per user per year. So it's more than 2 times, actually. So I was curious about, I know it's very early stage of your interest. You're just exploring just to see what Grammarly for Education entails. But I was curious about any possible timeframes behind this request, and ideally when you would like to have this up and running if we get this approved.
Yes. Oh, wait, Renee, you can take it.
Thanks. I just wanted to ask, just to clarify, So from this January to next January 2025, it would be $5 per user, and then the year after that would be $12.
No. If you start subscription with certain price, then industry standard is around 5%. So upon renewal, your customer success manager will discuss renewal conditions, and we will not double or triple your pricing, never. So
Oh,
even
okay.
legacy customers that we partner from, I don't know, from 2012, we still keep the legacy pricing and increase like for 1 to 2% per year.
I see. So if we start this year, we'll be at $5 per user, and if we start next year, we'll be at $12.
Not next year, but February 1st, because
Oh,
our
okay.
fiscal year starts February 1st. What we can do here, so in order to secure pricing, we would need to sign an order form. That would be like 1-page commitment that you want to purchase certain number of licenses with certain start and end date, and we can have deferred start date of your subscription. So we will have more time to discuss certain contractual, commercial conditions, implementation stages. Oh yes, about implementation. I wanted to mention that for your account, you will get dedicated customer success team and sales engineering team. So they will work closely with your IT, with your administration to arrange training sessions, to arrange some calls to make sure that we integrate smoothly with your systems. And yeah, basically help you succeed with Grammarly. And our account management team will be able to provide with custom reports as well. What I showed you with analytics, that's the basics. We can go on top of that and help you get more traceability on the return of investments. So we can see how your students basically benefit from using Grammarly, how they improve their writing, if they receive less suggestions, if they use more vivid words, more vivid language, if they expanded their vocabulary. So that's also available with custom reports that your customer success manager will be available to provide.
Thank you. That helps answer my question.
Yes, moving forward, I will be open to schedule maybe additional sessions to show you all advanced capabilities of platform, show you how Grammarly's generative AI feature works, how we offer in-text citation in any text field. So basically you can get that. I know I read your AI policies on a university level, and I know that university allows students use generative AI but they should cite that. So that's what Grammarly is about. So students can get in-text citation with different writing styles, with MLA, ABA. Grammarly can help students get this in any text field without need to copy paste between different environments.
Thanks, Rob. I believe that we will have to discuss if we want to move forward with the Grammarly for Education policy at our next executive meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong, execs, which will happen next Wednesday. Yeah. And then moving forward from there, we can contact you if for further details.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. After our conversation, I will also put together a presentation and share it with you, so you can send that to your peers who couldn't join today's call. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to hearing back from you once you have any updates on your decision.
Thank you. That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank
Brilliant.
you so
Thanks,
much,
everyone.
Rob. Yeah,
Have a
thank you.
lovely day.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, all right, so do we, okay, I was gonna say we could potentially have a discussion on the presentation right now if we wanted, but we'll just go through agenda and maybe we can have one later. So for now, we'll move on to new business. The first item in new business is low competition. So low competition reads, whereas the logo change competition involves prizes to be given out to the top 10 applicants, be it resolved to allocate X amount of dollars from line 886/17 promotions material from communications department to be spent on prizes for the logo change competition. Be it resolved that the prizes will be determined by the executive committee. I will move this motion. Can I get a seconder? Internal seconds. Yeah, okay, so this was I know I amended this on today, but this was brought forth by Liam. So basically just a follow-up on the conversation we had at last exec. I think the number he recommended was $500. So that would allow for $50 prizes per top 10 applicant. But any other, are we okay with that number, or would we like to see like a different number? Ashley says sounds good to me. Oh, Sindhu, you have a list?
Yeah, just the amount sounds okay to me. Just a question of if we can change that line item, because promotional materials is, I wouldn't say is the right one, because that's for merchandise. We have another one allocated specifically for survey prizes, so if we can just also change that to 743.17 survey prizes, I think that would be helpful.
1 second, doing that right now. Ashley, you can do your list in the meantime.
I was just gonna move to amend the change Cindy recommended.
And I will second that. I'm actually, I'm gonna not set, oh yeah, sure, I'll second it. Okay. I was gonna just add the dollar amount right now too, but I'll second that. So, it reads be resolved to allocate X dollars from line item 743/17 survey prizes, to be spent to be spent on prizes for the logo change competition. Is there any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, we'll move on to a vote. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom, and I'll call upon you for your vote. Seeing no dissent, that amendment carries. And then I'm also going to move an amendment to strike X and put $500. Internal seconds. Is there any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, I'll move on to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom, and I'll call upon you for your vote. Seeing none, we move back to the now amended motion, which reads be resolved to allocate $500 from line item 743/17 survey prizes to be spent on prizes for the logo change competition. Be resolved that the prizes will be determined by the executive committee. Seeking unanimous consent if you wish. Seeking unanimous consent if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, that carries unanimously. Next, we have events committee motions. Okay, so yeah, Ashley, your list.
Yeah, me and I were chatting, and I made some recommendations to his motion, just so it's kind of more in practice with what we usually do. So I posted earlier in chat. I separated them into 3 distinct motions, just to make it more kind of concise and definitely in line with our policy of how much we're able to approve in one individual motion. So I actually would like to move to separate Io's motion into those 3 distinct motions that I pasted in chat above. I would paste them again, but Zoom doesn't love copying and pasting. Yeah, I
All
hope
good.
that
I
makes sense
see
what I
them.
did there.
Yeah, I'll second that change. Is there any discussion on this change? Seeing none, I'll move on to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Call upon you for your vote. Seeing none, that carries. So the motions are now separated. So we'll move on to the first one, which is pancake breakfast, which reads be resolved to approve $1,000 from the events committee line item for the pancake breakfast. I will move this. Can I get a seconder? Internal seconds. I do have a quick question. Opening discussion to this as well, so feel free to listen chat, but I'm just gonna list myself. why are these coming to exec rather than through events committee?
Because the events are coming up in about, I think, 2-3 weeks. And we were supposed to have an events committee yesterday, but unfortunately could not reach quorum. And especially for the pizza, we have to give them notice in advance because it's a large order.
Okay, sounds good. Ashley, you have a list?
Somewhat related, obviously you weren't able to officially pass these these monies from the events committee because you couldn't reach quorum. But I'm assuming you did like discuss with the events committee these expenditures and that they are all unofficially on board, even if they can't give our rubber stamp of approval.
Yeah, like the Valentine's one it's actually a budget from like not technically a budget from a previous event, but we were supposed to have a pizza celebration kind of deal last semester. That got canceled because of the strikes. So that's where the entirety of that came from. And then the pancake breakfast was supposed to be earlier this semester. But because of the weather, we had to cancel that as well. The only like completely new item there would be the Lunar New Year, which I've more or less cleared up with the events committee.
Perfect.
Okay, solid. So we will move. Oh, is there any other discussion? I'm not seeing any. So we'll move on to a vote for the first motion right now. So this is pancake breakfast. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to consent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom and I'll call upon you for your vote. Seeing none, that motion carries unanimously. So the next one is Valentine's Day event. This one reads, whereas the events committee would like to spend the following for the Valentine's Day event: $1,000 on pizza, $20 on sticky notes, $15 on juice boxes, $100 for contingency, and $150 for the giveaway. Be it resolved to approve $1,450 from the events committee line item for the Valentine's Day event. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, move on to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to consent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. And that carries unanimously as well. Last one here is Lunar New Year celebration. This one shoot. I didn't do a mover and seconder for Valentine's Day event. I'm gonna just retroactively move that. Can I get a seconder for the minutes?
Internal seconds.
Internal seconds, thank you. Okay, on to Lunar New Year celebration. I will move this. Can I get a seconder?
Internal seconds.
Internal seconds. Whereas the events committee would like to spend the following for the Lunar New Year celebration: $100 for chocolate coins, $100 for oranges, $50 for envelopes, $50 for fortune cookies, $50 for decorations, and $100 for contingency. Be resolved to approve $500 from the events committee line item for the Lunar New Year celebration. Is there any discussion on this motion? I'm imagining none. Seeing none, I'll move on to the vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to consent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. And seeing no dissent, this motion carries unanimously. Okay, I think we are on to discussion item. Oh, I have a list.
Yeah, just quickly, there's a typo in the Valentine's Day event. It says $15, supposed to be $150 for juice boxes.
Oh, okay. Do we need to go back or can we just take this as a friendly amendment and
Yeah, it
roll?
should be friendly because
Okay.
yeah.
The total adds up to the right amount, right?
The total's fine, just the juice
Okay.
box.
Okay, sounds good. We'll just take that as a friendly amendment for the minutes. If we could add that to make that 150. Ashley's fine with the friendly amendment. Okay, perfect. And yeah, now we are on to our discussion items. So Ashley, I cannot remember the title of your discussion item, but it is yours. I believe it was a double room booking conflict, vast double room booking. So we'll open discussion on this. Ashley, you have the list.
Yeah, so I was chatting briefly with the BAS counselor last week, who is in the room, and I can hand the floor to her in a second if that's okay. She has prepared a quick, like, 5-slide thing. I didn't realize she was intending to do a presentation and not a discussion item. Is it okay if we give her screen sharing privileges so she can present 5 slides?
Yes, I'm on that right now. Meha, I will make you co-host, and that should give you screen share privileges, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it worked. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I have like a really quick presentation, but you guys can let me know when I can start.
Floor is yours. Feel free to start.
Okay, awesome. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I haven't actually met a lot of you guys, and I don't think you've seen my face, but I'm Meha Sidhu. I'm the BAS counselor this year, and I tagged my Instagram there if you guys want to see what I've been up to. But contents of like this whole thing that I'm presenting is just this BAS request for a double sub ballroom booking in March, and then also just a little note about a BAS common room in the sub campaign that I've been working on. Yeah. So the double booking room situation is that BAS is hoping to like host 2 events in the sub on Saturday, March 2nd and on Saturday, March 9th. And there's regulation that prevents this double booking. But that's listed right there if you guys want to read that. And this is really like a singular case because BAS has a really unique circumstance. They usually respect this room booking. They don't do more than one until after their event is over, and then they rebook for their following events. But right now it's a really special circumstance because BAS actually was selected to host 250 plus students all over Canada from our Canadian Association of Business Students, or CABS, annual flagship 5-day conference. And so it's like a one-time thing, and BD probably won't do it again for, I don't know, for so many years to come because they'll choose other institutions to host this at. But why it's super positive for us is that it builds our external image and connects us to other universities and like the business community in general. Yeah, and so yeah, it's on March 2nd and 9th. And the issue is that there's another event that I'll explain in a second, but we won't be able to have a quick enough turnaround to book for the next week on Saturday 9th, right after our event is over, because I'm sure it'll probably be snatched up. And I'll explain further about that in the other slides. Yeah. But basically what CABS is like the roundtable conference is about, they say over 300 students, but it's actually 250. That's what the number was of attendees. And you can read that blurb if you want to in your own time. But yeah, the March 9th luncheon that they're trying to have, it's one event out of like 5 days of conferencing that they need the sub so they can cut costs and have a free space. But yeah, they would not overwhelm this capacity of the room because they are having cohorts who will come in and grab their lunch and sit down and chat, and then they'll have the next groups come in accordingly, and it won't be disruptive to our student union building. They have allotted the logistics to make sure that it doesn't affect any of the ongoing sub like events or happenings. Yeah, and it is on Saturday, so there's probably less students on campus then anyways. But yeah, the option to book through BD School of Business, like that was an option presented to us, but they said that if we book through them, we have a large fee to pay when the sub is usually a free space for our community, and we'd really love to just somehow get around this double booking rule. Yeah, and then what the first event is on March 2nd is our BMP event, which is the BAS mentorship program. It's like our wrap-up event for next steps. And basically what we do, that's me actually with my mentees. What we do is we have our first year students come, and we have four events for them, and they're paired with one mentor, me being one of them. And we support them through those events, and also just like one-on-one meetings, helping them get club positions. Like actually one of my mentees, she's interested in acting, so helping her find some resources into joining the film industry, which has been really fun. But yeah, that's kind of extra filler. Yeah, I think that this last event is really critical to us. We already have the sub booked, I think, for March 2nd for this Next Steps event. It's really important to like release our mentees into a successful second year. And we don't want to have to compromise on these 2 events because this is pillar to our student society, and then the CABS event is pillar to our external like image and community that we've been building. Yeah. And okay, this is the last thing really quick. I've been working on a BAS Common Room campaign recently, and if you guys are interested in like learning more or supporting our letter by signing, like you can scan this QR code and read the letter and then sign your name if it's something that interests you. yeah, thank you guys.
Sorry, my mic wouldn't mute there for a sec. Thank you, Meha. I know we don't have a motion for this today. Oh, actually, it's your list from before. Is that right now?
That was from before.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't tell. Sorry, my bad. I know it's not a motion for this today, but I think I mean, just personally based off this, Sindhu, I'm not sure if there is an issue with overriding the double booking, if that would cause any problems, but I'm inclined to allow this at the moment. Sindhu list.
Yeah, I mean, I think both look like great events, just for that second one on March 9th. I don't know if the sub would be the best space, but yes, if that's the space that you want to go with, absolutely. You already acknowledged that you can't surpass the 180 amount. So as long as that's honored and there's not more than what we can actually handle at capacity, I think that's fine. The other thing that from the exec end that people need to consider is just that if we make this exception now, just that is something that opens up for other groups as well. So just keep that in mind.
That sounds good. Thanks, Sindhu. Does anyone else have any questions or comments while we still have Meha here? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Oh, wait, Ashley, you have a list? Ashley?
Sorry, my muting was not cooperating. This is less of a Mayhack question. I perhaps maybe more of a Sindhu question. It seems like exec is not opposed to kind of giving this one-time exception. Obviously, that does kind of set a precedent, which we'll have to kind of take into consideration if other groups were to request this of us. But does this require, say, a motion on our end, or what will kind of the next step procedures look like to ensure that this is all above board?
I think that was a little hard of hearing on that, but if you're asking about the motion, yes, we should probably amend a motion on.
Okay, cool. I can write a motion real quick.
Yeah, that would be perfect. And yeah, I know this doesn't set a precedent that we'd have to navigate in the future, but it is something that seems that would be beneficial to our students. So I'm pretty open to this exception. Rest of exec team, I'm not sure if you guys have any thoughts, but other than that, I'm assuming we're all pretty on board with this right now. Okay, in the meantime, Ashley, while you're writing the motion, I'm gonna make sure we don't have anything else on the agenda today. No, okay, this is the last thing. Okay, perfect. All right, Ashley, once you have that, just put it in chat and then we will suspend the rules and vote.
Sounds good. Mayha, could you remind me of the 2 dates again? Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And chat, Ashley, your list.
Yeah, I'd like to move to suspend the rules to amend on the motion posted in chat.
And I will second this. Is there any discussion on the suspension of the rules? Seeing none, move on to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing no dissent, this amendment carries. So we will now vote on the motion itself. I'll read it out loud. Bass Double Ballroom booking. Whereas Bass would like to make a one-time exception to book the ballroom on March 2nd and 9th due to an exceptional case presented at the executive committee. Be it resolved that the executive committee allows. Yes, we will. For a one-time exception, allowing Bass to book the sub ballroom on March 2nd, 2024 and March 9th, 2024. I will move this. Can I get a seconder?
Internal.
Internal seconds. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move on to the vote. I'm seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function in Zoom and I'll call upon you for your vote. And with that, this motion carries unanimously. Okay, so this double room booking should be allowed, Meha. Sindhu, is there anything else that needs to be done so that the booking can go through, or any information that we need to provide anyone?
No, I can pass on the note to the bookings team.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, with that, I think that concludes our agenda today, guys, unless I'm missing something. I'm gonna give it 5 seconds if I'm forgetting anyone's like discussion item or motions. Okay, none. So we'll move to adjournment. Adjournment reads be resolved to adjourn the meeting at 1:51 p.m. I'll move this. Can I get a seconder?
Internal.
I think I heard internal first. I'm gonna give that to internal. Seeking unanimous consent. And I'm just gonna assume everyone consents unanimously, and that's it. Alright. That carries, and meeting is officially adjourned, guys. Thank you everyone for coming. Bye.